Hello and welcome back to the Twitch Player Lounge. This is a great moment for me because not only have we just been having a laugh off camera, but I'm getting to interview somebody I've been dying to talk to for a long, long time. And it was a surprise that he was even here. It is, of course, one of Twitch's most popular streamers of them all. It is the great PhantomL0rd. Hello. It's great to finally meet you in person because I've got loads of things to talk about. But I think we'll start with the overall surprise at seeing you here at DreamHack. Why? How did it all happen?
I mean, it was kind of on my stream tunnel for like a month, but yeah, I guess other than like telling people on Facebook or Twitter, there was really no other advertising other than that. But I pretty much got convinced by Soda Poppin to come. Really had nothing planned. I was just like, you know what? Let's just go across seas and stream here in Sweden. Because I would be streaming from home right now, but
yeah.
Let's stream in front of thousands of people and never get a chance to sit quietly because everyone's asking for a signature. I must have signed at least like 1,000 people by now on the first day, and my hand is just done.
The perils of e-fame.
It's not that big a deal. I make it sound like it's so dramatic, but I mean the fapping helps the hand strength, you know, so it's all good.
Let's. We've already gone there. We've already gone
let's
to that level of humour. Yeah, we're going to get took off the airwaves. We won't be able to show this to any partners or anyone, but that's fine. Yeah, you're watching it, so that's what matters.
Oh, did I just kill that for
No,
myself?
no, I'm joking. We're gonna go through. We're gonna go
All
through.
Right.
It'll be totally cool. So okay, let's. I've never corpsed before in an interview either, so this is pretty good.
Changing it up.
Yeah. So perils of e-fame. I want to focus on that point. I mean, you seem like a very outgoing person anyway, and I imagine you're quite content to interact with fans. But I think, especially in esports, out of all the industries I've worked in, sometimes I don't think fans do understand sometimes the requirement for personal space. So how difficult is it to come to the biggest LAN in the world and, you know, get mobbed?
Well, I mean, if I wouldn't have had any experience, honestly, with, you know, some events beforehand when I was kind of first becoming a pro and then actually becoming a big known streamer and all that, yeah, I would have been destroyed. But really, I think the trick is that you just got to stay calm and pretend that each person is like an individual boss because I mean, my fans are the reason why I'm even here.
Yeah.
So it's like I have to treat them kind of as with respect because, you know, they are, again, the reason why I'm here. So it's really just kind of being calm and looking at them, you know, making eye contact. That's really hard to do because a lot of times it's really easy to look down. That basically tells people that you don't want to be disturbed. You know, it's very simple to do that. But then when they call out your name and you try to like ignore them, you got to turn around, you got to make eye contact. That basically initiates the next 20 minutes of you going to be signing things. And, you know, you just got to do it. And I've been doing it, and it's been enjoyable. I mean, I know a lot of times people are nervous, and so I try to crack jokes and make them kind of enjoy themselves. But I'd say the benefit out of all is I've gotten really good at signing my signature, so I'm happy about that.
Do you not do a different one each time?
No, I mean,
I'd be tempted to do that.
Like the other events, they've been shitty. I think now is my best one, so I've kind of practiced a little bit. But I wish my name wasn't so damn long. I wish it was just like Swifty, like just
PL.
That's kind of, I mean, yeah, but that's kind of, I don't know, that's kind of
Or maybe you
lame.
could have a picture or a symbol like Prince used to do.
I wish I could have a stamp of my face. Have you seen my sub logo? My face? Yeah, I'm selling the shirts.
Can you even imagine that, though? Like doing a sign-in.
Stamp it.
Yeah, just.
All right, next.
I'll stamp that. It would work. I think people would still be happy.
It's a great idea.
You should think about it.
I will do it.
Okay, so here's what I really wanted to ask you about. This is really the super important part for me. I was watching the night when it all went down, the infamous night with the derp trolling guys. And I was talking to Sky about it in the aftermath when it was all kicking off. And it was just like, my God, I couldn't believe it was happening. And then when the hostage situation thing occurred, I was like, this is bonkers. Like, I've never seen anything like this
pretty
unfold.
Intense, yeah.
Yeah, the drama from start to awful finish. So I've got to ask you about that. I mean, first of all, did that make you almost resentful and a little bit put off about being a streaming personality? Because that's all, we can laugh about it now, but that is actually a really horrible thing to happen.
Yeah, of course. I would not wish that on anyone. I think I honestly had probably the best case scenario of that, mainly being the fact that I actually went outside to see the police instead of actually sitting in my room, you know, them bashing the door in and breaking the door and having my whole family have to deal with that. No one else was home. So I don't think I've been doing this long enough to really get to that point where I get pissed off and frustrated. Because, I mean, my girlfriend's a tremendous help. Like, at the end of the day, I could just voice all my concerns to her, just relax, and then, just, take a cold shower, anything, and then, start the day again fresh. But if I've been doing this for maybe, like, 10 years, then I can start to see it come on.
Yeah.
But no, I think it's too early. I'm not really that big of a celebrity or personality yet. I definitely would like to be, but I mean, it's not really any kind of interest. I just like streaming, playing games, and having fun. And if there's more and more fans that keep coming to say hi or trolling me in cases of like that, then so be it. I'll just handle it. But the experience itself, yeah, was definitely one I'll never forget. It was, I'd say, half and half a learning experience and something that's could have been taken as a way that would have changed my life. Like, just had that shock feeling, like, had the policeman had an automatic to my head, basically, and but I didn't absorb too much of that. I kind of pushed it away, and I think I'm fine afterwards.
What about in terms of, because you did have a little hiatus on streaming afterwards, if I recall correctly. Do correct me if I am wrong. Was that because you were sort of assessing anything? Were you thinking, perhaps I need to do things differently, or maybe I just need a break from this? Because it went from being this super lucrative and, so many positives about it. Your highest ever numbers on a stream, you were the highest streamer, and then, of course, that crash. And then you didn't stream for a while afterwards. So what was going through your mind?
Well, it was actually on New Year's. Well, New Year's was the next day or two or something like that. So I went out with family and did stuff with them. But I guess I can talk about this now, and most people don't know. Actually, no one really knows about this, but I was well aware of what I was doing at that time. I was actually collecting data to help with the process of finding out who was harming, even me or anyone there, and it was beneficial. So I wasn't just doing it kind of ignorantly and just like, oh, I'm racking in viewers and stuff like that. I was well aware what I was doing. I just did not know that there was another group out there who was sort of watching me, who was another hacker group, and I feel that they sort of retaliated to me. But I did take a couple days break, but I mean, I just kept my head level-headed about it all. It was, thinking about it right now, I'm kind of shaking up a little bit still because I'm remembering a lot of things that happened, but it wasn't too bad, honestly. It's just having the family and the fans to support. I mean, people were loads supportive of everything that happened. If I didn't have that, of course I would have crashed. Maybe never even streamed again.
It's interesting as well because I actually, I'm a writer predominantly, and I interviewed the guy from Derp Trolling not that long ago. I haven't published the article yet.
Wow.
We did a lengthy interview about it. We talked a lot about that night. And it was very interesting because the person who ended up taking over Derp Trolling, and they were actually in legal action right now. There was an FBI raid. He probably helped contribute towards that in some way. He said that he was like really sympathetic towards, because it wasn't them who did it to you directly. And I thought that was amazing. And he was also going, it must suck for people to have bad things happen to them over the internet, and he's part of this hacking group. And it was like this lack of self-awareness.
I think it's the same thing with me kind of feeling guilty that I did sort of take measures to kind of help solve the issues, and I really was kind of trying to befriend them, like, hey, don't harm me because I know you have the power to do that. I think it's like the Stockholm effect or something like that.
Stockholm syndrome.
So I was kind of in that a little bit, but separating that, I did feel a little bit sympathy for them, and I know what they're doing is not bad, and I have to have so that clash. But I can understand why he's kind of saying that too. It's just a weird situation. I mean, there's no manual or tutorial on how to react or anything. And if anything, I'm just a kid who's kind of slightly grown up. So I mean, what should I do? And I think the steps that I took were the best possible I honestly think. Yeah, no, I could have done some things better, like just turning off the stream, like But as many people said, that would have solved the issue. I don't think it would have. They would have. They kept doing their things for the next couple of hours, and I don't know. I'm neutral about it all right now. I feel sorry for the people affected, and I don't know.
Well, look,
it's just tough.
on to more positive subjects, and that is just your success in general. Obviously, we were interviewing a lot of the successful streamers on Twitch here this weekend, and you're one of the examples that always comes up. I talked to a lot of the Twitch management, Stuart Saw, a guy called Tosspot.
Stuart, good old Stuart.
Yeah, he absolutely adores you. I think every example when he needs to talk about someone who's been successful through Twitch, he always says, "Now, PhantomL0rd, PhantomL0rd, you are his go-to example of the popularity of Twitch." So I've got to ask, when you started streaming, was it something you do where you thought I might get a little bit of pocket money out of this? Was it I'm gonna get some attention, or did you have a clear career plan from the moment you started?
Well, before I answer that, Stuart's actually a really big reason why I'm here
Interesting.
today.
Okay.
Him and Opie are like, I think of them as like they're my other fathers, because they guided me to come to Twitch from Own3D before Own3D crashed and all that. So tremendous thank you to them. Of course, I try to say it every time I get a chance, and hopefully I can say it in person.
Yeah.
But no, I didn't really have any sort of direction. I think when I told the story a couple times, Hotshot, George was the first idol of mine when I was, I think it was the Season 1 Championships. I was there in the stands, regular guy, regular fan, and he streamed. I watched him stream every day, and I was like, okay, I want to play with him. So as soon as I started to play with him and the other top guys, I was like, oh, I'll just start streaming. So I just started streaming. I guess my personality was enjoyed by several people, and my numbers just grew and grew and grew. And I don't know. I've been trying to perfect it in the term of how can I make people have as much fun, be as entertained as possible, and just have a good time. I mean, that's really it. And then, of course, the quality, the bit rate and all that crap, which is so difficult when it comes to polishing it, because there's all the different parts, and you have to have it, work together. So those two things are kind of what I've mainly focused on. As far as like reaping the benefits, that just comes with it. I honestly don't focus on it, because I mean, people donate all the time, and I'm just like still stunned. I had that issue in the past when I was basically in tears because of the people donating. When I was young, I didn't have even $1,000 in my bank account. So someone just giving that in one donation was just mind blowing. It's not really the amount, it's just the gesture, the fact that they don't even really know me as a person, but they still want to express that thank you in terms of their own hard work, the money they've earned from that, and they're giving it to me. And I'm just so incredibly thankful for fans like that.
Yeah, I mean, you've done incredibly well out of it. I think what I like most of all about the way that you've attained that success is you haven't really relied on anything else other than your personality. I find that interesting, because I think a lot of streamers adopt fake personalities, and I think that's abundantly clear when they're doing that. I can see through it. Maybe that's because I'm a little bit older. I don't know. But equally, a lot of the top streamers are attached to teams. They're top players. You're just a guy. And you just started streaming. Is that... I mean, is that ever a worry that your success is pretty much based on, your personality in a lot of ways, and almost solely that? There isn't kind of a backup plan. If for one reason culture changed and your personality was deemed particularly obnoxious or whatever, you could be unsuccessful tomorrow.
Yeah, of course that's a worry. I mean, I do worry about this all the time. It's not something I should worry about.
No.
I should really just go with the flow. But I kind of feel guilty sometimes when I don't worry about it. It's more of a keeping myself in check. But no, I pretty much just sit down in front of the computer, and I know I'm not fake, but really my personality is like, I crank it up because I'm in my own space.
Yeah.
I'm in my own, comfort zone, and I can really let loose. And a lot of people, they ask me like, how do my neighbors feel about me? Because I scream so loud. And that's genuine, because I get really, really pissed. I get really mad at the stuff that's happening. Get so engrossed in it. And that is truly me.
Yeah.
But, when you meet me in person like right now, I'm not going to be screaming at you or something. Unless I had a
Wait
reason
till you hear
to.
the later questions. We can change that. No,
but, Yeah, it's really just finding that sweet spot because I don't want to go overboard. A lot of the things I do are for the reason of, that's generally how I feel inside. So I just let it out, and I don't feel embarrassed enough. Like right here in DreamHack, it's actually been a little bit difficult. I felt at the start to express that, but as soon as I sat down, kind of not really ignored but forgot about the people behind me. I fell right into the same comfort zone and just had fun, and it was it was really easy, honestly. It was a lot of fun just to stream here and just have a good time with the people watching.
Now, I want to ask you, just while we're at this juncture, are there any streamers, like, that you do find particularly fake or that you don't like? Because I know you're not afraid to answer questions like that. Most people try and play it political. I know you would answer. And here's why. There's an example in mind. There was an incident recently with a League of Legends female streamer and her boyfriend sort of...
Yes.
Yeah, right. Okay, he gave her a little... slap or whatever.
Oh no, I think it's something different
on
now.
the side.
Oh, no, I haven't heard about it.
Well, because the jungler pushed his lane, and then she came out afterwards and said it was staged, and it was all very strange. It really was almost like an unpalatable side of the sort of streaming experience.
Interesting.
Yeah. So, and I was like, if it's an excuse and it was staged, then that's a really bad situation, and get your pitchforks, people. We've actually got a genuine target here. Or B, if it was staged, what a terrible way to sort of exploit people's feelings in exchange for donations and sympathy.
Oh, I see.
Yeah,
okay.
you're with me.
Yeah,
So I don't know if you've ever encountered anything like that, or if there are any streamers out there that you find particularly unpalatable.
Well, if people try to invoke a reaction for the sake of profit, for the sake of self-gain, I think that's, of course, a terrible thing. I'm an Eagle Scout, so I do follow the motto, do a good turn daily.
Yep.
So I try to see that people coming home, having a rough day, you want to make them smile, you want to make them have a good time. That's what you should be focusing on, not for the purpose of self-profit. But for answering your question about like someone who I know does that, I know someone who does that, but for positive reaction. I mean, Casey Tron, of course, as everyone really knows, she. I kind of felt like at the beginning that it was a secret, not really to tell people, but she does her things on purpose. And I know people kind of fall for it at some point, but if they watch her enough, they'll know that she does it on purpose. But she's fantastic. She's brilliant. Yeah. She does it so well. It's incredibly hard to recreate that. There's no way in hell I could do that. I could troll that hard. But she does get donations and stuff like that, and her viewers climb. But I think that's for a good reason. That's not really for the sake of self-gain and stuff like that. So people kind of just, if they feel comfortable with donating, supporting that kind of trolling, it's just being basically pretending to be stupid, that's okay. But if you're just faking an incident or something dramatic, like people even thought that the police rating or stuff like me was staged, was fake. Like
I did
so
hear people saying that.
I had it recorded on my phone. I knew that because when I was there with the police, I'm like, people are not gonna believe this, and I have recorded on my phone. I showed a clip of it on my stream. And there's always going to be that side of people who see the negative part of it all. But
I mean, yeah, you're absolutely right. I never thought about it like that, that you can kind of almost adopt affectations and be a little bit fake, but it can be positive. Because I think a lot of people associate it with a negative. I think one of the things people like in esports and gaming in general is realness. That quality where they can see you are, what you are. You're not fake. They could approach you and talk to you, and we'd, all get along just fine. Yeah. And I think in many ways you kind of embody that. And I think that's probably a large degree of why it's successful. Now, the question, another one that I've had wanting to ask you for a long, long time, is about your playing days, which were very brief. You said back in season 1, you idolized Hotshot and you looked up and you wanted to start playing with him, and you were in a couple of teams, very brief lifespans. Now, back then, I don't think anybody foresaw LCS. Nobody realized how big it was going to be, that it would become the biggest esports title.
That organized,
Yeah. So, do you have any regrets about not becoming a pro player?
Zero. Absolutely none. Because I know I have a lot of friends who are pro gamers, and I know the lifestyle they live. I cannot be in that setting. And I applaud them, really, I do, because it's incredibly difficult. People who are just regular fans, who come to these events and they want to be in that setting, in those people's shoes, they don't understand the difficulties behind it. And a lot of times it's actually incredibly hard to express. It's hard to just tell people being a pro gamer is difficult other than just saying they practice 13, 14 hours a day. You know, that doesn't sound too difficult. People are like, oh, yeah, I play computer games every day. I can do that. Yeah. That's merely the base of it all.
Yeah,
so, again, I just applaud pro gamers because they dedicate their entire life, their mindset. They wake up from the morning of their day to the sleeping. It's 100% the profession that they are in. And I think my profession is really for my fans. It's for my stream, just for having a good time. And even I find that clash of like, I feel guilty. I want to be really good. I want to make them impressed with good plays and stuff. But then, halfway through the game, I start to troll and just fall into that original setting of just having fun and making sure that they have a good time watching me. And so it's really hard to balance both of those things. I almost think it's impossible, honestly. You're either playing to, play well and do well and improve, or you're playing to have fun. Having fun comes as a result of winning from being
exactly.
But it's not really something you can meet right at the start and have it go consistently through the match. So no, I do not at all regret not being a pro. I went through some pretty dramatic situations that like anything in life you learn from and you grow from, and I don't feel any hatred or negativity towards the people that were involved in that. I'm actually pretty thankful that I went through all that, but I had that experience. I was on stage, thousands of fans cheering me on, watching me play, and I got to play against some pretty recognized people, and I felt that was enough. And now I've moved on, and this is what I'm currently most interested in.
It's kind of a shame in a way. I think you're doomed in a way never to get the sort of credit, because you were quite innovative.
I don't need it.
Back when you sort of started. I mean, look, everyone knows about the TP Revive carpets, for example, which it sounds, again, everyone laughs about it now, and it's a trolly thing to do, but it was hugely innovative. People were not doing that, and like nobody had thought about it. A lot of times we see North American players kind of emulating things that Korean players are doing and whatnot now, and it felt like you came up with that all by yourself. Is that accurate?
No, I did not invent it, and I want people to know that I was not the one who came up with this thing. I am the one, however, that brought it to the professional scene, because I mean, in any game, you could play something with the basic level, the people who are new players. You can do anything. You can destroy with any kind of tactic, but to play it against the best of the best, that's an entirely different scenario, and something that you have to perfect. And I mastered it, and I was really joyful of that. I really felt the recognition around the world of this is the person who mastered this build, and it's so unique. I was really happy about that. I mean, just not having flash, an ability that's easily, you make a mistake, you can escape. I didn't have that, so I really had to perfect everything I did. And thinking back, it was so overpowered. It was just incredibly broken, because I think he's been nerfed like 12 times. All the things around that build, revive. You could no longer TP to a ward, and they wouldn't see the animation, so you just immediately appear running super fast. They're dead. There's nothing they can do. Or in a team fight, before Baron, I get baited, and they kill me. They catch me. Oh yeah, I'm back now, and they've already engaged my team. I already ulted. They're half HP. I come back and I kill them. So it's just a strategy that most people weren't experienced with, and it was just so fun to see people get surprised, because even top players were surprised. But yeah, it was good while it lasts. I'm more interested in Ziggs now, standard play. But yeah, it was fun to be known for something unique.
So we've talked about the past. Let's talk about the future.
All right.
I think one of the things that I like about you as well is that you're an old school gamer. I identify with it. I see you play Quake. I see you play games that you're not quite as old school as me. Definitely not. But I see you playing games, and I think, Christ, I used to play that when I was a young lad. And that's great. You've got that, kind of history there. But you are predominantly known for League of Legends. What happens, because we all know games die.
Of course.
They come and they go. And League of Legends has, already had a very successful lifespan, but there is that risk that maybe one day it's not there. And do you feel your numbers are tied to the games you play? Would you transition to another game? How do you, if you had to, foresee the future, how do you think it's going to go?
I do think one of the big reasons why I do play League is for the numbers, most people do watch for me playing League. If I play other games, they don't really, connect with it. They don't maybe understand the game. So yes, that is a big reason why. But also on that note, I'm not in the same comfort zone. When I'm playing League, I don't have to think. I can just muscle memory and do everything, and then I can focus on jokes I'm going to do or something stupid that I'm going to do that maybe be funny. When I play other games, I can't do that. I have to think about, oh man, I'm playing shitty. I need to now focus on being better in the game, so people will at least grab entertainment from that. Like I was playing Counter-Strike Go here with Soda yesterday.
Yeah.
I sucked. I was flashbanging my teammates, like legitimately trying my best to
Report.
just throw it, and I was just like, oh my god, there's people watching behind me, there's people watching online. So I was like joking, talking, and then all of a sudden, 20 minutes later, I'm not talking at all. I'm just straight up focusing on doing and playing the game, and I got better. But then I lost that involvement with interacting my stream, and so I think that's another big reason why. But to answer your question as well, if this game does eventually die, I would, yes, move on to the next biggest thing. Because, a gamer at heart, I always like to try things. I actually hated League when I first started playing it. I'm an FPS guy at heart.
Yeah,
I think the game was just so slow and just like, but when, actually at the time why I got so interested in is that one of my friends got a divorce, and he was hanging out with us as the guys, and we were having drinks. We're like, what the hell can we do? Let's play a game that all 5 of us could play. And so we kept playing that, and it was just that enjoyment with a group of people. You can't really do that too much with StarCraft. It's a little bit Counter-Strike you can, but I played that all through middle school and high school, so it was kind of a not something everyone did.
I think it's kind of ironic as well that with your friend, he turned to League of Legends after the divorce rather than League of Legends causing the divorce, which is the usual way of things.
Yeah. So it's just the game just kind of fell into my lap, and it happened to be the most popular one in the world. And I've played all those games before, but yeah, I just fell into my lap, played it, and if the next game comes along, I'll definitely try it out. And hopefully I get really engrossed in it and actually enjoy it. But if not, then I'll see what game I end up with.
What have you got planned for this mini European tour? It's a long way to come just to do one event, so you must have some other plans.
I'm actually going to be here for just one extra day other than DreamHack here. Not really doing anything, just kind of relaxing and just taking it easy. But then when I go back home, 2 weeks, I'll be just streaming normally. And then I'm going to Korea for a month. I'm going to be playing on the Korean game server and then playing with them and all. I did that once before.
How high did you get?
It was a lot of fun. I got platinum, I think, in a week. So it was pretty good.
Yeah.
That was back then when it was more of the ELO setting and not really the divisions, I think. I think, no, it was the divisions. But, it's just so fun to play in the servers with the different sounds, the pentacular stuff like that. And all the champions sound so weird, but it's really just to do something different. Again, give my fans something different to watch, and it's also for me, too. Just a little trip to go somewhere else, other than being in my room 24/7.
Awesome. Well, look, we'll wrap up there. It's been great to talk to you. Really, I can cross you off the interview wish list now. It's done. Shout-outs. I'm sure you must have a few people you'd like to thank, or any sponsors or anything, so this is your time to shine.
Of course. Well, to start, a big thank you to all my fans. Hopefully, is some of you guys watching right now. If not, you guys might be watching the VOD later on. But, you guys know that I wouldn't be here without you. I love you all for everything you do, and just tuning in and watching me is pretty much the only thing you need to do. Not even that, just supporting me, thinking about me at night when you sleep is... I love it. So, thank you guys, especially all my sponsors, HyperX, iBuyPower, Skins for LOL, I believe, is my newest one. And, of course, thank my family, my brother, who's actually one of the people who manages my stuff and takes care of all the network issues, which are a pain in the ass when they do come about, getting DDoSed and stuff like that. But, yeah, thank you, all you guys that support me and everything you do. So, and anyone I missed, I apologize.
All right, well, look, thanks a lot. I'll let you get back to your signings. Rubber stamp next time. All right. And to everyone out there, that was the interview with the great PhantomL0rd. I hope you enjoyed it. We're going to have more interviews like that one from here in the Twitch Player Lounge as we bring you the very best coverage of DreamHack Summer.